Hello folks, today I have brand new merch ArangoDB t-shirt, and as it's obvious I will be talking about ArangoDB. Thanks those guys for sending me this t-shirt. I like how does it look, so this nice avocado, and I also have a couple of new stickers. Yeah. So today I had some time to read and watch more about ArangoDB and Foxx Framework, and I will tell you my findings, some new information for me, probably for you it's not new, probably for you all this, even these words, ArangoDB and Foxx Framework, will be absolutely new, so continue watching. The first interesting thing I discovered in ArangoDB is their query language. It is named AQL, I think it's Arango query language, and it looks quite similar to SQL. I think it is even not inspired by SQL. Their language is much more imperative than SQL, and I hope right now somewhere you see these listings, you see some examples, probably here. Yeah, I don't know where I will put it. Let it be a surprise for me. Another cool things I found is that ArangoDB has built-in graphical user interface. It is web-oriented and its code name is Aardvark. I didn't try it, I just seen screenshots, and by screenshots at least it looks very stylish and convenient. I like it. Some more things about their data structures. So as I already mentioned in my previous videos, it is a multi-model database, and it has three models in it. It's a document-oriented model, it's key value store, and it is a graph-oriented database. And they don't use Cypher. It's language, query language from Neo4j. Their query language is completely different. It is based on their AQL, ArangoQL, and for document-oriented store and for graph-oriented database, for graph-oriented part of their database, the syntax is still the same. One interesting thing about their key value store, as any key value store, the main purpose of this store is to be blastingly fast. And about their document-oriented store, it has supported different indexes, different secondary indexes, also different types like text indexes, hash indexes, I think maybe geo indexes as well. Yeah, I've seen it like 5 or 6 of them. Also in their query language I discovered they have joins, inner join, outer join, they have aggregations, so it looks pretty serious. Now let's move on to Foxx microservice framework. As I already mentioned in my previous videos, this is a framework built on top of the ArangoDB, and it is built on JavaScript. Its main purpose is to add a wrapper around your ArangoDB. Also, you can add to it your aggregation functions as well as basic ones. And the cool thing is that they support some authorization protocols. They support basic HTTP auth, which you probably won't use, and they support OAuth 2.0 as well. And this is pretty cool. The main advantage they present in their videos and their documentations about this Foxx framework is that you will be able to access your database through this wrapper, through this API, because it actually builds an API for you from different microservices. So these microservices will be decoupled from the AQL language, and they don't need to know anything about it. And I like this approach, except one thing. I believe it's not a good approach for different microservices to access one database. I would rather go by another approach of having multiple databases. Probably it will add me some overhead of managing multiple databases, but you will have less coupling and less points of failure, because if you have just one database and its cluster goes down, all your application will go down. And one of the purposes of having microservice architecture is to be able to survive in case if one of parts of your application dies. It is actually also one of their motivations. I think it's the most important motivation they had when they created multimodal database. And I cannot just out of the blue agree on this, because as I usually seen, if your application needs different database types, if it has different data types, in your application is microservice oriented, probably you need different data type per different microservice. I mean, for one microservice you probably need document oriented store. For one microservice you are absolutely okay with just key value store, and for one you need graph database. And again, you can just use 3 different databases. So I'm not sure is this database really suitable, even by their model, is it really suitable for big applications, for real production, for working production applications. By the way, I see it is a perfect match with the new MVP, with the new startups, which don't yet know what the model will they have, what data model, what business model will they have. They plan to iterate fast, change their data types, data approach, business approach, and then for this case, I believe ArangoDB or just multi-model databases in general can be a perfect match. Okay, returning back to the framework, I want to mention a couple of more things. First of all, about the syntax, it looks for me very similar to Express.js. It is absolutely not the same, but it seems to be inspired by Express.js, and it's perfectly okay, and it's really good because Express.js is very simple. Its syntax is very simple, and it's quite powerful. So their syntax is a little bit different, but it's still very, very close to the one I have working in Express.js. Also, they have annotations, built-in annotations for their API, functions, and you can generate Swagger documentation from these annotations. And no doubt they also have validation support. They use schema validations based on Joy.js library. Furthermore, if considering this database as a database for startups on early to mid stage, the one real disadvantage I see is that they don't have any Heroku add-on, any cloudly hosted version of their database. I already asked them a question in Twitter, probably they will answer me, because for example for Neo4j there is a GraphenaDB cloud provider which you can include as an add-on into your Heroku, for your Heroku application. And Heroku it's really good platform as a service for early stage projects. And for sure you have MLab for MongoDB there, you have built-in support for PostgreSQL, and it will be really cool to have ArangoDB there as well. And that's it from me for today. Instead of reading about Neo4j and preparing for my presentation, which I'll have tomorrow at my work, I was reading about ArangoDB and watching screencast about it. And I would really like to try it in our project I'm really working on in my job. But as I see, they don't have support of Ruby, proper support. So I've seen a couple of adapters for Ruby, but they don't have any ORM. And I would like to have one to not reinvent the wheel. And also, as I mentioned, they don't have Heroku. However, feel free to try it in your pet projects and tell me about your experience. And once I will have time to try it out and on a project as well, I will definitely tell you about these guys. That's it. Thank you very much. Have a great rest 2 working days, and then have a great weekend just in advance, and I hope to see you tomorrow. Bye.